So, later tonight, we should be getting the physical Kid Buu's details in terms of his Super EZA. Now, on the 17th, Global Dokkan did put the teaser for his Super EZA, and that's probably because, like, today, or I guess tomorrow, the 19th, when it's revealed, it'll still be the weekend on Global, and I guess they didn't want to put it in the weekend for some reason. The teaser, I can't really say for sure, but they put it in early. They did the same thing with the Red Zone announcement last week. Now, we did know about Physical Kid Buu's Super EZA upcoming for the most part because of the fact that when the part 2 details dropped, with the global news, they did reveal that we're getting a Majin Buu Saga a Dokkan Festival banner, which was the same type of banner we got for the special pose category, and that's how we ended up getting Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks' Super EZA kind of confirmed because of the fact that he was featured on the banner. And of course, Physical Kid Buu was shown to be featured on the banner. They took it down very shortly after that, but since the banner was going to be coming out, I think on the 20th or 21st, we knew that this guy was going to be a thing, and he did get his, not only in the V-Jump we got that leaked, but we got his announcement for global in-game. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at, what he could be doing, what I would like for him to do. In fact, I technically didn't even bring up his kit, but it won't be too difficult. And we'll also take a look at some comments in terms of what people would like to see Physical Kid Buu do as well. I think that, a lot of people make some very good ideas and thoughts about, okay, what could Physical Kid Buu Super EZA be? There's some concepts and stuff like that were in the comments from what I'm understanding. Then right here, we also have a maintenance on the 19th from 5 p.m. Pacific time to the 20th at 1 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know if Physical Kid Buu EZA comes out on the 20th. I think it might be a thing where we have the data download. The game goes live on the 20th at 1 a.m. That probably is when the Red Zone will be released, essentially. Like, we do know that there's going to be a Kid Buu Red Zone, essentially, coming up this week. And then I think on the 21st will be his Super EZA release, right? Because usually they release the Super EZA about 48 hours after the Twitter reveal. But we'll see. Maybe they decide to just drop it a little earlier. We can't say for sure. But on JP, there's also going to be the 5.20.0 update. So we're going to see what that's going to be about. There's maybe I'll make a video on it when we get like the actual teaser. But we do know kind of what that might be. But this is why we're kind of expecting the details to be tonight, because of the fact that there's maintenance that night for the likely data download for this guy, and the preparation period on global was also announced to be on the same day. So there we go. Now for this guy, again, we know that they're not going to change leader skill or super attack effect, which is definitely already quote-unquote downgrade, but we've seen they make the Super EZAs still good regardless. I think AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku is really good still. I think that Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, both of those Super EZAs have been good. But this character is a different, I'd say, design, right? In a sense where he's actually a support character by his design, while the other two characters, you obviously very easily could see them as just like hard hitting, like damage dealing characters, right? Both Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So with that in mind, we'll have to see how exactly they're going to, okay, I guess he's down here. Where is he at? He's right about, am I crazy? Oh, they don't include the Super EZAs in the release schedule. They should do that like when it's updated. Where's this guy? Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Maybe he's down here. I'm trying to find the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. There he is, right here. But again, this guy and the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, both very powerful Super EZAs. What they did for these characters, which is really interesting, is that they gave them support abilities right here. So like they kind of rounded them out. Like Goku gives crit chance to allies, Gotenks gives actual stats to allies. So it's gonna be interesting. Is like, what is Kid Buu gonna get? Because he's not gonna get those kind of abilities. Is he just gonna get extra support for the freeze returns? Maybe he'll give critical hit support, right? Because he's already supporting in his stats. I think what they should do personally is I think they should. Okay, so I was talking on the Someone Super podcast with that Mass Negan, right? And he made a good idea, right? I was talking about how they should just get rid of this. And I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Just all allies 50% attack and defense and 2 key, especially if he's designed to be like a floating support character god, right? Like in slot, like what if he has like, I don't know, a baseline of 50% reduction, but then as a third attacker on the turn, he gets like guard, and then he gets like 100% defense when guard is activated, right? And then he gets like, I don't know, start of turn 150% attacking defense. He can get 150% attacking defense when performing a super attack, right? Stuff like that to make him like a super strong defensive third slot option would be ideal for me personally. I don't really care about running him in slot 1 or 2. I just think that this guy as a floating character providing 50% support would be great. And Negan brought up is because, you know, they usually like to keep the, like, I guess, like the essence of the design. So I don't think they're gonna completely get rid of this, unfortunately, as much. That would be like ideal, but it could be a thing where they make it just better. Let's say he gives 2 key and 50% attack and defense to all allies when HP is 79% or below, but then when HP is 80% or above, he gives the same buff for 2 turns, right? So we have been getting a lot of support characters that support for multiple turns in some way or fashion, whether it's their super attack effect, you know, like let's say the AGO 18 and Krillin that came out, they support superheroes 50% stats for 2 turns, right? You know, AGO Pan supports for 2 turns on her super attack effect, right? We've been seeing a lot of multi-turn support characters come out in the past few months, even let's say the Dokkan Fest STR Gohan and Piccolo that revived. We see the Int Android, you know, another Dokkan Fest that came out around that same time. They provide multiple turn support. I think you guys kind of see my point there, where this guy, you know, since his super attack effect can't change, what if he gives multiple turn 50% support if he is what's it called, like, you know, above 80% HP at the start of turn? That would work really well on like the Majin Buu team. They could even say like, yeah, what if it's 70%, right? I think that would be fine. Honestly, I don't think that's a big deal at all. Honestly, the Majin Buu team has a lot of like even end of turn healing, so that'd be pretty good. Like if you get the revive for Int Buu, you enter the next turn, you'll be at 100% HP start of turn, and you have this guy in rotation, then he's giving the 2-turn buff. And worst case scenario, he's still giving 50% support for that rotation, which would still be really, really good. But it's because the Buu team like has a super easy time healing, and I think this is where this guy's gonna be the best at, right? We've seen these Majin Buu Saga characters that have been coming out really built towards the Majin Buu Saga team. So I feel like there's going to be some way where this guy potentially will be restricted to the Buu Saga category team. Hopefully it's just a thing where it's like, oh, if he has a full Majin Buu Saga rotation, he gets an extra 100% attack when performing a super or something. Like, that'd be okay. And that wouldn't be the biggest deal ever, right? Where he's stronger on the Majin Power team. But hopefully it's not something where it's like, let's say he gets 50% reduction, then if there's a Buu Saga ally on rotation, he gets guard. That would not necessarily be ideal, especially because this guy, as a villain character, I mean, he's on a lot of these teams that could help a lot of them, and in the future, Majin Buu Saga isn't always going to be good. But again, we've seen LR Ultimate Gohan wants a lot of Buu Saga allies on rotation. Buu, Hercule, Buu Tanks, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We see this guy wants Majin Power specifically, but like a lot of these characters want Majin Buu Saga allies. I think, do you need Majin Buu Saga allies? You don't specifically. So not every single character, of course. Int Buu also does not need a Majin Power ally or anything like that. But this guy wants Majin Power allies as well. Like a lot of these characters that have been coming out want Majin Buu Saga allies on rotation. So that's the only thing I'm scared about. Now, I feel like they might not take it that way at the same time, and hopefully they don't, just because I would like this guy to be a good support, like, in the future. Like, you could even use this guy on the Fusions and Monster team, even, like, again, especially in the global version, but, like, you could use this guy to provide 50% support to, like, the, like, Goku Black kind of team. I don't think this guy fits the Broly. No, he does. Like, for example, full power Broly. He could fit the full power Broly team and be like a multi-turn 50% supporter. Like, you could just run like super bosses and then throw this guy on there on like a super bosses kind of team. That would be really good, right? You could get like him with Beast Gohan on the team, right? That'd be okay as well. What other teams is he on that has like a really good leader skill right now? To be honest, not many. You could throw him on Android 21's team. That could be a good team you could run. I don't think, did Resurrected Warriors get a leader recently? Harudagard, for example, right? I mean, you could throw him on the movie bosses kind of team led by Harudagard, I guess. where there's a lot of big bad bosses synergy there potentially, right? You know, if we get a good sworn enemies leader, like let's say we get a new, oh actually in elite sworn enemies, I don't know, let's say we get a new full power Frieza, or like a transforming Frieza into full power Frieza, then maybe he has planetary destruction as one of his categories. Actually, this guy also leads planetary destruction, funny enough. Okay, you know, it's been good recently. They've been giving us a lot of these characters that lead these teams, right? But you know, like a team like that where maybe he could even lead sworn enemies still, or something similar to that. And then this guy, you could throw him on like a Frieza kind of base team, right? Or maybe Frieza leads transformation boost as well. Anyways, right? Because I mean, if you take a look at transformation boosts, like the only like good villain leads we had for this was Cooler than Super Buu. And that was like a long time ago, 2017 and 2018, I believe. Or this guy's 2019 actually, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but 2019, 2018, and then we kept getting like Saiyans leading this team, and it's like we kind of want like a big bad boss kind of villain to lead this team with like some villain links. I think that'd be ideal. Even though villain links, you know, are kind of varying, of course, right? But if this guy is a character that doesn't necessarily need to rely on links, I think that'd be the best option as well. Which, you know, support characters a lot of the times they don't really need to rely on links to be really good, which would be fine, right? Unless you're running this character on like a team where, you know, you're trying to build him to be a little more damage oriented somehow. Like maybe again, like on the Majin Power team, he gets a lot of damage. What if he's a character that like on the Majin Power team, you could do like triple 13 mils still, and then he's supporting 50%. Like that's entirely possible. But we'll see. Again, we see how good these characters are. I think that just make him a very consistent floating like character as a support, and then I would personally be very, very, very satisfied with how he could turn out to be. So in terms of what the community wants, we'll take a look at some of the replies here. I think one or two replies may be made to this tweet right here. Yeah, we see here. Okay, can you believe Flash Jr.? No. Anyways, let's take a look here. So Issa made a concept for Kid Buu. It's probably too good, but we ball. Recovers HP start of turn, sure. 200% attack and defense plus 100% attack and defense if there's a on super attack specifically. Okay. Another 100% defense with the punch and power category ally in the same turn. Then 100% attack and defense and guard in the third slot. Again, yeah, that's something like that I'm completely fine with. And sure, this would be okay. I like, you know, it would be ideal to have it like not there, but sure. Because just other teams, but I don't think it would be a 9-day difference. Let's see. Keythrin 80% stats. I'm not sure if they would go with 80%. Maybe 70% is the best I'd give you. Then 50% under 9% HP or lower. So obviously the 80% stats would be above 80% HP. 20% attacking defense all allies when attacking in the third slots. One of the third attacking slot. Okay, so essentially that would activate start of turn. Okay. 100% support could be insane. Oh my god. High chance to dodge when in the first or third slot, so you do it also off guard. And then 20% chance to evade enemy attacks, including super attacks, when all allies in the same turn are Majin Buu Saga. I don't know if that would be... Okay, so if it's like... Okay, so if it's not as a third attacker, but the third slots, then that should actually add together. Because that would... I think. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. Start scale attacks. 50% HP recovery at the end of turn. This character receiving an attack. And then another 15% if HP is 30% or low at the end of turn. That's good. I think I would probably lower the support. What you could do is you could... I would honestly get rid of the attack here. Like, I don't care. And then just make it 100% defense when guard is activated. And guard all attacks in the third attacking slot. And then make this like probably 70% is what I'd give it. And then that's fine to me. Even with the extra 20% here. I think that's a lot. But just 70% here. Sure. Like, this is a little lower. Not that would be a big difference anyways. Like 100%, 90%. But yeah. I mean, unless they make this like 60% and they make this like 40%. And sure, that'd be okay as well. Yeah, I feel like the support numbers maybe a little too high, you know, is what I'd say, but I guess it wouldn't be like the end of the world. I mean, I'd be done with that for sure, 100%, right? So I obviously got some responses to this tweet right here, and let me refresh. So let's take a look at some of the quotes. There might be some quotes here. Another concept, let's see. Key 3, 100% defense, 10% HP. At the start of turn, recovery, okay, 100% attack and defense when attacking. All allies on the same turn, key 3 and 50% stats. Or for 3 turns to Majin Power or Majin Buu Saga allies. Okay. So I wonder how that would stack. Well, that would obviously stack together, I'm assuming, but okay. 100% defense, guard against all attacks, and all allies chance to crit plus 20%. And then another 20% reduction when HP is 80% or above. Okay. Key plus 300% attack, reduces damage received by 30%. Then 10% HP recovery and HP 79% or below. Reduces damage received by another 30%, disables enemy's action once within the turn, and recovers 30% HP damage, also HP when HP is 49% or below. You say additional reduction, but it doesn't have any baseline reduction. So okay. I don't know if I like this. But because in his kit already, he's still supporting under 79%. So you're kind of getting rid of that. Well, I guess to be fair, the support is no longer HP restricted, huh? Sure. I don't think it'd be crazy, but he seems good. I don't think it's too bad. I think you could make him, I don't know. I just don't like him kind of becoming a little more offensive the lower HP you're at. Like, if anything, he's become more defensive when you fall lower HP. At least in my opinion. No curb of the damage, but give him 60% reduction in guard and raise defense and super. I mean, I assume you mean in the passive, sure. Best support and make him runnable, 100% stats. As long as you can live early stages of the red zone, have a way to survive in the late stages. Okay, big support, big defense. Makes sense, yeah. As long as your team looks completely different than Well, Vector is a physical Kid Buu juicer. He's used that boy for years, so he's probably gonna find ways to bait. I'm just kidding. Find ways to use him in some situations. Okay, we talked about EZA here. Yeah, again, we saw the concept, which looked pretty good actually. Dodge, 170% chance to dodge would be crazy actually, because it'd be 100% chance to dodge, you know. 50% all allies, 100% to extreme class, and then 100% all allies less HP boost max. So extra support the lower HP you're at could be interesting, sure. As long as you can okay, as long as you can comfortably run him and wink your units, you really couldn't care. Making the 50% support completely free would be nice, maybe even a bit extra. Fine. Yeah, physical path to Power Kid Goku. So like, I seen the idea floated around where, what if this guy has like damage reduction support? I think that could be interesting too. Like, what if it's like 10% reduction support to Majin Buu Saga allies? That'd be cool. Buu tanks 500% attack and defense. Sure. 100% reduction. Defense plus support. He doesn't need to be a hard hitter since Buu Team has plenty of those. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say plenty. Like, I wouldn't mind if this guy does damage too much, but I would prefer him to always be good defensively. And then sometimes you can do damage, maybe. We'll take a look at this last concept here, then we'll end. Passive skill, key 3 and 200% stats. 100% attacking defense in addition on super. 20% reduction before attacking. Launches an additional that has a high chance to be a super attack for 3 turns from his entry turn. They could do that. Like, you know, I was saying, like, what would they do for the 3 turns thing? It doesn't necessarily have to be support. They could just give him an additional, sure. Damage received, plus an additional 20%, max 40% per super performs. So he would get 60% reduction before receiving an attack, then 40% after, essentially. All allies key 2, 50% attack and defense, 10% reduced damage to all allies. Okay, so all allies 50% attack and defense, 10% damage reduction including himself, and then 20% crit chance when HP is 80% or above. All allies 30% attack and defense, 5% reduction, and then 10% crit chances, HP is 79% or below at the start of turn, of course. Chance of evading enemy attacks plus 35% per extreme class ally, excluding itself. and then 25% per superclass ally. Of course, when it exclude himself because he's not superclass, attacking in the same turn. So he can get, what is that, 70% dodge on a full extreme class rotation, and then if not, it'd be a 50% chance to dodge with full superclass. 10% HP recovery start of turn, and then 5% up to a max of 20% for every 3 turns that elapse in battle. That could be interesting too. This is good. That's definitely a good character because he has the damage reduction plus 50 to 70% chance to dodge. Okay. Yep, that is pretty good overall, and he's supporting. I mean, again, I feel like the HP, like he should still, at least he's still giving keto allies regardless. I think the support, like maybe they could change this from 80% to like 70%, and then the 79 to 69%. Sure, it's all I would change, but that's all I'm gonna read for now, because this video is like what, 20 minutes long. Yeah, about 20 minutes long. I'm gonna end. Let me know what you guys would like to see. His details will be out later tonight. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time.